Hello, Golden State Warriors fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. Out of all the teams that made the playoffs in the Western Conference last season, there's only one that's still sitting on its hands watching the offseason unfold like a spectator. And that team, believe it or not, is the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, you heard that right. While everyone else is making moves, reshuffling rosters, signing pieces, or chasing trades, the Warriors have barely dipped a toe into the market. Their only real activity so far. Extending a qualifying offer to Jonathan Cunningham and snagging a couple of late second-round picks in that big Kevin Durant deal. That's it. No splash, no drama, no statement move that tells the league they're serious about chasing another title. And look, most of the major free agents are already off the board. The dust is settling, but the Warriors, they're still figuring out what their next step even is. Now, let's rewind a bit. Last season, once Jimmy Butler arrived in town, the Sheer Warriors looked like they were putting something together. Their post-trade record was one of the best in the league. They had rhythm, they had balance, and for a moment, it felt like the magic might be back. But then came the playoffs, and reality hit hard. Steph Curry, battling injuries, couldn't quite carry the weight. The Warriors ran into a brick wall in the form of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and just like that, they were out again before reaching the conference finals. The truth is, while the regular season showed flashes of what this team could be, the playoffs revealed what they still lacked. Coming into this offseason, expectations were sky high. Around the league, there was this growing sense that Golden State was going to be one of the more aggressive teams on the market. Why? Because the window is closing fast. Steph Curry isn't getting younger. Neither is Draymond Green. And even Jimmy Butler, the newest face in the mix, has only so much prime left in the tank. This is their last dance, folks. The Warriors know it. Everyone knows it. They've got maybe 2 years, tops, to squeeze out one more championship run before the core that built a dynasty starts to truly fade into the background. And yet here we are, 2 weeks into the offseason. Most of the talent has been scooped up, and the Warriors still quiet, still waiting, still leaving fans wondering what's the plan. If they want to compete, something has to change fast. The options aren't what they once were, but there's still a few names out there, a few moves that could realistically reignite the fire in Golden State and give this team a real shot. Not just fringe players or back of their rotation guys. We're talking real contributors, guys who could move the needle and turn a quiet offseason into a statement summer. Let's start with a name that's been floating around for a while now, Lauri Markkanen. Now, until the Utah Jazz come out and say flat out that he's off the table, he's going to be one of the most talked about trade targets in the league, especially for a team like Golden State. The fit just makes sense. Markkanen's numbers have dipped a little in the last 2 seasons, sure, but that doesn't mean he's lost his touch. The guy needs a system. He needs a passer. He needs someone who can find him in his spots. And that's something he just hasn't had in Utah. He's not a self-creator, not the kind of player who's going to ISO his way to 30 points a night. But if you get him into a motion offense with a high IQ playmaker like Steph, he can absolutely thrive. We've already seen what Golden State can do with big men who can shoot. Just look at how they used their rookie Quentin Post last season. The upside is clear. Now the tricky part is what it would take to get Markkanen. The Jazz probably don't have much interest in someone like Kuminga, and realistically, the only way the Warriors are landing a star is if Kuminga is the centerpiece going the other way. So the question becomes, do the Warriors up their draft pick offer? Do they mortgage a little more of the future to bring in a guy who could immediately elevate the offense? Because make no mistake, Markkanen can move the needle. He's not a savior on his own, but he makes everything easier for the stars already in place. Another name that should be on the radar is Nic Claxton. Look, the Warriors don't typically lean heavily on their senators. They've never been the kind of team to run the offense through the 5. But that doesn't mean the position doesn't matter, especially now after losing Kevon Looney in free agency. They need someone to give them 15 to 20 solid minutes a night, protect the rim rebound, and bring some toughness inside. And Claxton can do all of that. He's not a floor spacer. He's not going to step out and hit threes. But around The basket. He's efficient, he's athletic, and he's dependable. This is a guy who's played over 70 games in each of the last 3 seasons. That matters. The challenge, though, is the contract. Claxton is locked in for 3 more years. And the Warriors, realistically, are only operating on a 2-year timeline. So do you take on that extra year? Do you bet on him fitting into a system that doesn't traditionally feature bigs heavily? It's a gamble, but maybe it's one they need to take. Then there's DeAnthony Melton. Now this one's a bit polarizing. Some fans love the idea of adding Melton. Others think he's not the answer. And hey, to be fair, the guy has only played 6 games in a Warriors jersey. It's hard to get excited about someone with such a limited sample size. But if the team can sign him to a vet minimum or something close, why not roll the dice? The thing with Melton is that he checks a lot of boxes when he's healthy. That's the caveat. Injuries have really held him back these past couple of seasons. 2 years ago, he appeared in just 38 games. Last year, tore his ACL just 6 games into the season. Brutal. But before that injury, he was showing real promise. A guard who can defend, handle the ball, hit threes, and move without it. That's not something you find every day, especially for cheap. He fits the Warriors system, at least in theory. The question is whether his body can hold up. And then there's Walker Kessler. This guy's been stuck in trade rumors for over a year now. He's only 23 and already one of the better defensive bigs in the league. He's long, he's mobile, he blocks shots, and he's just scratching the surface of what he can be. But here's the catch: he's due for an extension, and word is the Jazz don't want to pay him north of $25 million a year. At the same time, they're asking a lot in trade negotiations, so the Warriors would have to cough up at least 2 first-round picks, maybe more, just to get him. That's a big ask for a guy who doesn't bring much to the table offensively. But again, fit matters. Kessler wouldn't need to score in Golden State. He'd need to anchor the defense, crash the glass, and play his role. And contract-wise, the Warriors could match the salary easily. The real question is whether they're willing to part with more of their future for a guy who isn't a guaranteed game changer. Now, let's get into the fantasy zone for a minute. Because if we're talking about best-case scenario, the dream move. There's one name that's always going to pop up: LeBron James. Yep. The king. There have been whispers, nothing concrete, that he might not be thrilled with the direction the Lakers are heading. And if he were open to a change of scenery, pairing him with Steph Curry would break the internet. 2 of the greatest to ever do it, on the same team, fighting for one last ring. Would it be easy? Absolutely not. The logistics alone are a nightmare. It would probably require sending Jimmy Butler the other way just to make the money work. But even at this stage of his career, LeBron is still better than Butler. He's still a superstar, still capable of tilting a series. And maybe, just maybe, he could unlock something new in a guy like Kuminga, who's still trying to find his place in the league. Is it a fantasy? Maybe. But in the NBA, crazier things have happened. Nothing is certain until it's not. And with the Warriors staring down the final stretch of a dynasty, maybe it's time for one more bold move. One more swing for the fences. Because if they stand still any longer, this offseason might be remembered not for what they did, but for what they let slip away. So if Golden State really wants to chase greatness again, not just hang on to memories of parades past, then they can't afford to let this summer end in silence. Every move matters now. Every decision carries weight. Because once that clock runs out on Steph, on Draymond, and even on the Butler experiment, that window isn't just closing, it's slamming shut. And let's be real, the Western Conference isn't waiting around for the Warriors to figure it out. Teams like Denver, Minnesota, and Oklahoma City are only getting stronger. The Lakers might be in limbo, but even they could pull something off before the season tips off. Meanwhile, younger squads are developing fast, gaining confidence, and looking to leapfrog anyone standing still. That's the harsh reality of the league right now. You either evolve or you get swallowed. That's why the pressure is mounting in Golden State. Not just from fans or media, but internally. You better believe Steph Curry wants answers. He's given everything to this franchise. Championships, loyalty culture, and he's still playing at an elite level. He's not going to settle for a farewell tour where they hope things go well. He wants a real shot. One more deep playoff run. One more time with the lights at their brightest. And if the front office can't give him that, it's going to reflect poorly on everyone involved. Bob Myers might be gone, but the expectations haven't left with him. Mike Dunleavy Jr. and company have a tough job now. They need to balance the desperation to win now with the long-term health of the franchise. trading away all your picks for a player who might not pan out that could haunt you for years. But playing it too safe, that's how dynasties die quietly. It's a fine line, and Golden State is walking it every day. Do you go all in for a guy like Markkanen, even if it means parting ways with Kuminga, a player with real upside and a growing fan base? Do you take a flyer on Claxton, knowing he might not fit your timeline perfectly? Do you bring in Melton betting on his body holding up? Or do you hold out hope for a blockbuster that seems impossible, like LeBron and beyond? The names we've already talked about. There's always the chance that Golden State surprises everyone. They've done it before. Whether it was turning Andrew Wiggins into a key piece of a title team or drafting a young player who unexpectedly turns heads, this front office has found ways to innovate. But they're running out of room to maneuver. The margin for error has never been thinner. There's also the matter of the locker room. Culture has always been a strength in Golden State. That mix of veterans who know how to win and young players eager to learn, that's powerful when it clicks. But when the direction is unclear, when guys aren't sure what the mission is, that's when cracks start to form. You start losing players mentally before you lose them physically. The vibes matter. And right now, the vibe around this team feels uncertain. Like everyone's waiting for something that hasn't happened yet. Even someone like Draymond Green, as vocal and passionate as he is, can't mask that forever. He needs pieces around him that amplify what he does, not make his job harder. The same goes for Jimmy Butler. For all his grit and clutch performances, he's not a miracle worker. He needs help. He needs depth. He needs structure. And the longer the front office waits, the more this team starts to feel like it's standing still while the rest of the league races ahead. Let's not forget the fans in all this either. The Bay Area faithful have seen the highs and lived through the lows. They're loyal, but they're also educated. They know when something feels off. They're watching closely. Every missed opportunity, every quiet press release, every rumor that fades into nothing. It all adds up. And while no fan base expects championships every year, they do expect effort, aggression, a sense of purpose. Right now, what they're getting is silence, and that silence is growing louder by the day. Of course, things can change fast in this league. One phone call, one surprising trade, one unexpected sign, and that's all it takes to flip the script. Maybe by the time training camp rolls around, Golden State has filled the gaps, made the necessary moves, and looks like a contender again. But for that to happen, they have to act. They can't keep waiting for the perfect situation, the perfect player, the perfect deal. Sometimes you've just got to make a bold move and trust your culture to carry the rest. Because the clock isn't stopping. Steph isn't slowing down, but he isn't speeding up either. The league is relentless. Every day that passes without a move is a day closer to the end. The Warriors know what championship DNA looks like. They've lived it. But if they want one more taste of that glory, they have to start acting like it. Maybe it's Markkanen. Maybe it's Claxton. Maybe it's someone else entirely. But one thing's for sure, doing nothing is not an option. The dynasty might still have some life left in it. But if Golden State wants to extend that legacy, the time is now. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. There's a buzzing rumor swirling through NBA circles that Cade Cunningham, often dubbed the new DONČIĆ for his versatile playmaking and smooth scoring, might be making a stunning move to the Golden State Warriors. The whispers suggest that the Warriors have just signed Cunningham to an eye-popping contract, one that's sending shockwaves across the league. While nothing has been officially confirmed yet, the mere possibility is enough to ignite excitement and speculation among fans and analysts alike. Cunningham, a young star with immense potential, has been steadily carving out his own identity in the NBA since his debut. His style, marked by a blend of court vision scoring ability and a calm demeanor reminiscent of DONČIĆ, has drawn comparisons and raised expectations. Now the talk is that the Warriors are ready to take a bold step by bringing him into their star-studded fold, potentially reshaping the team's future and championship aspirations. If the rumors hold any truth, this would be a game-changing move. The Warriors have long been known for their strategic decisions and ability to mix veteran experience with youthful energy. Adding Cunningham to a roster already featuring some of the league's most lethal shooters could create a dynamic that's hard to match. The buzz is that the contract is surreal, suggesting not just a big financial commitment, but also a statement of confidence in Cunningham's talent and ceiling. Of course, the Warriors have navigated many high-profile deals before, but this potential signing could be their boldest yet. Fans are already imagining the possibilities on the court. Cunningham's flair and playmaking combined with Golden State's fast-paced sharpshooting style could mean more explosive games and a rejuvenated quest for NBA dominance. Still, with no official word yet, it remains all speculation and hopeful chatter. Could this be the next big splash in the NBA offseason? The rumor mill is definitely turning, and if the Warriors do indeed seal the deal with Cade Cunningham, it could signal a thrilling new chapter in the league's ongoing story. For now, all eyes are on the Bay Area waiting for confirmation and ready to embrace what could be one of the most exciting developments in recent basketball history. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.